And we're live. Hello, Sybil.
Hi, Sybil. Good morning, folks. Morning here, anyway. Pardon me while I clear out the frogs. And good afternoon and good evening to those folks that are across the pond. And we're just getting started here this morning. As you know, it's Shell and Peg. And how are you doing this morning, Shell?
I am fine. I've actually been having a minor, a very small cleanup of my desk this morning in preparation for what we're going to do today, which isn't really a project so much as it is a preparation for our Art Journal Habit 2018 challenge, which is coming up starting November 1st. And we've already put out the words, the word prompts, which I believe Peg generated on a random word generating program. Didn't you? Something like that?
Yep. I have an application on my phone and it, oops, I'm getting a little feedback now. I got to shut down. Okay, so yeah, it has an application that does that, and you just randomly generate words, and that's what I did for this, is I generated words for us to use as prompts for our month-long challenge. Now, the reason we're giving it to you early is because, hey, folks, it's November, and we all have stuff going on in November. I know that the holiday comes in there. Any number of things are coming up. Hi, Cindy. Good morning.
There's two Cindys. Cindy and Cindy.
And Barb. Oh, we got two Cindys. Okay.
Yeah.
Cindy Bagley, yes. Cindy Utter, yes. Hi, guys. Yeah. So anyway, what we do is we announce this a little bit in advance, just to give you guys a heads up. You folks that are in the Art Joy is Sharing Facebook group, the PDF is out there. You can download it, print it off, do whatever you need to do. And it's just 30 days of art journaling. And, you know, it's just a commitment to journal at least 15 minutes a day. We just want you to use the hashtag so that we can find you and see what you've been doing. And yeah, share with everybody else. So this is what you're going to find. You're going to find the sheet like this that has the information on it. It's also going to have a sheet like this that has all the words on it. And so today, what I plan to do is to, you can see I started cutting these words apart, and I want to do a little bit of mind mapping, you know, figure out what direction I want to go with these prompts, because that's part of it. You know, when you've only got 15 minutes, you have to figure out, where am I going with this? And so I'm going to start by just taking a journal and taking the word for the day and figure out where I want to go with that. So how are you going to approach this, Shell?
I'm not a 15-minute a day journaler. I know that sometimes they offer that as a challenge for the original November NaNoJournal, and say, oh, you can just do it in 15 minutes. I don't like doing it in 15 minutes. So on my channel, every day there will be somewhere around 20-minute video, which is a speed through video, because I usually spend about an hour that day, or maybe an hour and a half, doing my page. So what I'm interested in doing is making a junk journal again. I did that last year, and if anybody's curious, I can get my junk journal and show it to you. I've collected a pile of junk mail, which is almost all these freaking annoying waste of paper. As you know, the primaries are coming up. What do? They send me thousands and thousands and thousands of pieces of vote for this person, vote for that person. That person's bad, this person's not. You know, so I've collected all these because they are a heavier paper. And then I also have some ones that are like ads from grocery stores and stuff. Solar panel. I get this ad every single day
Wow.
in the mail for like a month. Solar panels. Get solar panels. So that makes a great junk journal. Actually, I'm just going to get out my junk journal. I can just grab it real quick and show you the one I did last year. Because I don't intend to construct it today. I'm just going to try to think about what size I want it. Because I don't want to make huge, gigantic pages. This is the one I made last year. And it's literally exactly the same stuff. This, you know, you can even say a lot of it's already cut to size. It's the same stuff. And I think that's a great way to do it. You don't have to buy something if you don't want to. You can use an inexpensive something, or you can make your own. So I'm going to do this again this year. So the first thing I'm thinking about is making the pages all the same size or roughly the same size. Then I have, I have these plastic boxes, and I collect stuff in them, magazine clipping things, and like this is all the stuff I collected off my desk this morning. And I have another basket. This is literally all stuff from my desk that just collects. And I could probably make my whole journal just using these, because I love collage and I love to mix and match. I love the challenge of mixing and matching things. So I'm going to work on that for a while, and then I'll probably switch to something else. But the first step, obviously, is to print out the words so that you know what you're working with. So yeah.
So we have people joining us, Shell. I want to say hello to those people that are just coming in. If you missed the first part, we are just talking about the November challenge. And if you're a member of our Art Joy Sharing Facebook group, all of that information is in the file section in a PDF that you can download and print. But we do this, how many years is this, Shell, for?
I think this is the 4th year we've done it. Every day for all of November.
Yeah. So, and it's just to encourage you to make art. It's all about fun, and honestly, I have, just like Shell says, a lot going on. And part of what I do, since she's talking about all that stuff, is I do work the elections. So I know I'm not going to be here to do that page that day. So I have to work ahead on some of this stuff, and that's okay. If you have to work ahead on something, that's why we're putting it out there a little bit early for you. We know that, the holidays come in there, people have family coming to visit. And so we don't want to make this another stressor, because, the holidays can always be kind of a stressor. We want to make it a fun challenge for you, just to relax and enjoy.
I do want to say, Peg and I, who are producers of YouTube videos, are committing to doing it every day. We will do it every day. We have been doing it every day. But we don't want to force you to say, well, I've got to get up at 4 a.m. because I got to go do that page because Shell and Peg said so. Although we did, but you know what I'm saying? Don't make it something that becomes not fun and make it your job because you think that you've made a commitment. It's just encouraging you to do something. So even if you do a little tiny thing, a little, you can make a tag journal. A tag journal would be fun. Just clip together some of these shipping tags. Maybe I should do that. I have all these shipping tags. I have so many. I bought a box of 1,000 one time. This would be fun to just, make a little journal out of this. Why not? That would be a simple and quick page that you could do by just putting 30 of these things together. So don't back away from it because you think you can't, because you can, and don't stress over it. If you miss a day, so what? Maybe some other day you make 2, or maybe you just missed that day. It doesn't matter. It's it's not, you're not getting paid for it, and we're not grading you. You're
However,
getting paid, but you get
however, speaking of not getting paid for things, I am rounding the corner. I will have about 4,000 subscribers here shortly, or at least I think before the end of the year. So I am going to do a giveaway. So anybody that's participated in this particular month-long challenge will have an opportunity to be in the drawing on my channel, which is Peg Robinson, and maybe win a piece of art from me. So there's an incentive for you.
Yes, good incentive. So I'm sorting these things so that I can figure why, if you're going to send something through the mail, wouldn't you think they would all be the same? But they're not. I thought the post office had like rules or something. They seem to have some different distinct sizes. It's weird. I guess all of those are the same. So I could just cut this end off and then fit in the rest of these, I guess. That's my plan. Yeah.
Okay, the other thing I want to tell you guys about is that the last week of the month, we will be making our art journals that we plan to use. That was the plan, right, Shell?
I don't know. Did we have a plan?
Well, because we need a live show for that last week of the month. So if you're still hesitant and don't know about how to go about doing that, we will be working on what we're going to use for our art journal.
So then I should put all this
Or
junk
maybe a
mail
page
aside
or something. Who knows?
because I'm going to do that later, is what you're saying. I am jumping the gun. I should be doing something
Oh, are
else.
you making a journal today?
Well, I was working on it, just trying to figure out the size.
Okay, scratch that idea.
No, I wasn't planning on making the whole thing. I wasn't going to sew it or anything. I was just like I was showing the junk mail and trying to figure out like what size is it going to be. Because all the junk mail is not the same. It's not all the same.
Yeah, and when you're working on, you can use any size journal you want. However, when you're working on 15-minute journals, I recommend something that's like a 5x7 or smaller.
Tiny.
Just because you don't have a lot of time for covering surfaces. Unless you want to spend 3 hours a day. I don't know.
Look at this. This is like some thing that came in the mail. There's probably 30 postcards in there. You could just take that alone and make a journal out of it, and it would be the perfect size. Just punch holes, put some rings in it. And there you go, junk journal, bam, all in a little kit. And they didn't even know. They were sending me a free journal.
Yay.
I don't even know what
this,
I don't know where this came from. I don't know what it is. The Home Show? But I obviously saved it because I thought it would be reusable. Weird.
Well, some of those papers are much better than some of the papers I go out and get.
I think this is like glossy stock. Probably most of these glossy stock. So you guys, in the next couple of weeks, pay attention to what's coming in your mail if you want to make a junk journal.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, and right now I'm using an old journal that I had from way back when I was selling stuff. And this is just, thin ledger paper. And I'm going to use this for my notes and things because as the month progresses, I have a number of different things going on and I need to keep track of all of that. So, that's why I've chosen to put all of these words and things in here so that I can prepare myself for the upcoming month. If you guys have followed me at all on Instagram this month, you'll see that I've been trying to keep up with some month-long challenges this month. And it's been kind of a challenge because I've been traveling and, doing things with family and stuff. And, somehow you have to still make time for the art if that's important to you. So I'm working it out.
I think you'll be more organized than me. I'm not going to be that organized. I kind of wing it. I like to wing it. But that being said, it's always nice to have some things prepared. And there's always fun stuff that you have in your stash that's just, stuff you haven't used. Like this was a piece of scrapbook paper, obviously from Seven Gypsies. Has some funny little things on it. And I have all these plastic boxes, so I could just start cutting up things, magazines, little pieces and bits and bobs. This was just in my stuff here of, things that are on my desk for no apparent reason. Yeah. Also words. So that's a good place to start.
That
If you
is
have things
another
to
thing
cut.
that I do is books and magazines. A lot of imagery there. Oh boy. Something's really feeding back now, Shell.
Oh, I don't hear it at all.
Huh.
Looks like Peggy has joined us. Vicky. There's Fia. She says
Yeah, Barb, I do use these. Let's just walk through. I'm putting the word down on here right now. But if you go back to the beginning says feathers. Okay. So I want to think about that. Where do I want to go with that particular word? And, you guys can do this right along with me. Hi, Ela. Hi, Fia. This is the word for the day, feathers. All right. And there are any number of things that you can do with this. You could think about, feathered pillows. You can think about birds. Think
Angels.
about all the things. I'm sorry?
Angels.
Angels, yes.
Dragons have scaly feathers. I've been into dragons lately. It's weird.
Okay, so you can see that I can play off of this word and have a lot of ideas about where I want to go with my page. And to have this part already done, I can think about this and say, okay, I could just do feathers,
Yeah, there's some beautiful feather stencils and feather
Yeah, there's beautiful
die cuts and stuff.
And then I think about, okay, so what colors would I want to use on those feathers?
Turquoise, teal, purple.
So I mean, we can say, okay, purple, turquoise.
A pearly color, like pearlescent colors, like Lumiere or something. Or spray.
Shimmer.
Shimmer stuff in it. Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, you can see I can direct what I'm looking for in my stash when I go to this page, and I can just take this to the shelf and I can say, okay, I have a die cut, right? That does feathers. So I know I can look for that die cut. I know I have paints and products that are these colors. And I know that I have plenty of shimmer. It's just what way do I want to go with that? Do I want to go with something glittery? So this is how I can take those words and I can figure out before I ever get to my page how I'm going to direct that page. That makes sense to everybody?
Yeah, Barbara says it's mind mapping.
Yes. Yep. So that's what I want to use this for. And then as I go through things, like I look at the words, you know, here's a bunch of words. And as I go through things and I find words like clock, I can also look in my stash and I can find things like this that I can just tuck into that page that I'm going to use for that day. And I'll have this available. Okay. So this is just me gathering things. And so even if I'm gone someplace, if I'm sitting in an office somewhere, I can tear things up, glue them down, still have things available because they're all in here ready to roll. And then, you know, I like to take things like these National Geographics and look for imagery in here that I can use. These are old National Geographics. I get these from the secondhand bookstore for like 50 cents a piece. And these are real old images. These are like from 65, you know, so you can get away with doing that. I also have imagery that, you know, can kind of inspire you. I've got these artistic books, you know, so you might find some inspiration in some of these books that I just picked up on clearance. I have a whole bunch of stuff like this that you guys have seen before where, you know, I just gather all kinds of things. And I can go through here and I can find things, you know, in the color scheme, in the background that I want to use. And, you know, I'll look through all of my papers, find things that I want to use, you know. I think one of the prompts was solar. I think this might go on a solar page, you know, just quickly looking through things to try to find stuff that might work together.
Yeah, I think what we're really talking about, because all of us have this huge pile. I mean, I don't think I'm alone in saying that my stuff's not organized. I have a lot of stuff. I've got things that people have sent me from Happy Mail. I've got things that I've collected. I've got scraps of paper. I've got gel prints. I've got napkins. I've got tissue paper. I've got sequins. I've got stickers. I've got scrapbook paper. I mean, there's so much of it in this room. It's overwhelming. It's overwhelming. And so being able to do what Peg is doing and kind of focus your mind onto the prompt and bring in some of that chaos is a really good way to start this process, because you have something to focus on. You've got the words, so you've got something to focus on. However, I am not that organized, so I tend to collect on the, like, if I look at feathers, and feathers is November 1st, but it's still October, I don't have any inspiration for that. Not really. I mean, I can brainstorm.
Well, and that's
weird.
just it. You know, when you're mind mapping, feather to you might mean, okay, it's Thanksgiving and everybody has a turkey, and maybe it's going to be a turkey feather. And,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it can go all kinds of directions. And that's why it's nice to have a little bit of quiet time where you can sit down, you know, look at these words, think about what direction you want to take your page. And so many of us are always in a rush when we go to create our journal pages. You know, a lot of times Shell and I do that too. We'll sit down and say, I have no idea what I'm going to do today. And I'll say, I don't either, you know, but I'm trying to be a little more proactive this time and just be a little better prepared, because I don't want to spend as much time on this as I have in the past. Because, you know, it takes not just time to make the page, but to shoot the video, edit it, upload it. I'm like Shell, mine are not 15-minute pages because I don't typically work. You know, it's like journaling by 5. I think it's a great concept. I don't work that way. I have a hard time walking away and letting something go because I'm task oriented and I know that about myself. And so I know if there's a task to be done, I'm going to sit down and do it. And if this page takes me 3 hours, I'm going to get it done, by gosh, and no
Yeah,
matter what it takes, right? So
that's me too.
it's just the way people work. And, you know, maybe other people work differently. This is just one method that you can use. And I'm not saying this is the right method. I'm saying this is something I'm trying this year, which is not the method that I used last year, because last year was more of the seat of the pants kind of stuff. Because I got up to the month and I was not prepared, and it's like, okay, got to do another page today.
I think I just found my image for powder. Yeah. Mhm.
Pia says she always wings it, and Peggy says always nice to have a plan. Yeah, I mean, it both work. Heaven knows
Powder,
I've
you
done
know,
both, but
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm trying to do a little more ahead of time this time. Like this month is a little more free form. Like when I started on that canvas for the 31 days of products, I wasn't sure what products I was going to use, and I kind of let the canvas speak to me because each day I'm putting another something on that canvas. So it's been a challenge. Hi, Laura. It's okay. Better late than never.
Yeah, we're kind of freeform today anyway, so you didn't miss anything particularly, other than us talking and talking and talking. I don't know what.
So
Yeah.
I'm rounding the corner on getting these glued down, and then I'm going to start looking at my stash and looking at, you know, what direction I want to go with these things.
Another thing that you can work on is like stamping tissue paper to use for backgrounds, or cutting up your gel prints into the right size to fit inside of your journal, or taking painty papers or something and using your little die cut machine to make shapes. Anything that's already pre-cut and ready to go when you start is definitely a benefit. If you like using magazine images, you can start cutting them up and putting them somewhere where you can find them. I don't know which prompt this dog might go to, but he's just darn cute.
Well, and just
Bree.
because you cut it out today doesn't necessarily mean it's going to end up on your page. It's just, you know, you're gathering materials. But like Shell says, you need to have all of that stuff ready to roll if you don't want to spend too much time.
I definitely think he's feeling the breeze, and breeze is on the 19th. So maybe I could make some swirling things, and then my dog is up in the air feeling the breeze and sniffing. Yeah, I like it. Don't you think?
Yeah, why
He's
not?
up on his rock and he's sniffing in the breeze. Basically, I think if you're creative, you could take any image and make it into something on this page. Any of these prompts could be.
Cindy's asking about our word list. Cindy, are you in Art Joy of Sharing? It's in the description box below. And it's a Facebook group where we share all of this. And all of that is in the file section over there. You can, it's a PDF and you can just download it, print it off, whatever you need to do. And yes, it is there for you to use.
Yeah, we'll also post it on Instagram and, other social media when it gets closer. But we wanted to give you a heads up so that you could do a little pre-prep if you wanted to.
Hi, Letty. Yeah, you're our people. You're our Art Joy of Sharing people. And so you're the first to know about this. When we put it on other social media, we've made the announcement, but we're not really putting it all out there daily until November rolls around, because there's a lot of challenges going on right now, and it kind of gets lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, there's amazing amount of people keep coming up with a new challenge, and then there's already the old challenge that was already going on that month, and it's just getting a little bit crazy out there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram, but I was trying to do 3 of them. The 31 Days of Products was one, and that was from Birgit Koopsen, and that was the canvas that I'm working on. Then there was the Print Inktober, which was printing from
Julie
Faith Ann Bowser, and it's printing with rubber stamps. And I thought I was going to carve a stamp every day, but I'm finding that I'm not getting that done. So I may just go back to what she's doing. She's picking some of her older stamps that she carved, and she's doing some stamping with that. And that could be the background on something that I end up using for this particular journal that we're working on here. So who knows? So let's try another word. Can we? You guys want to help me with this one so you know what we're doing? Let's try the second word, which is voyage. And you guys throw out, you remember what we did over here with feathers. We first thought about, what those feathers would apply to: the pillows, the dragons, the angels, the birds, the feathers, and then took it to the next step. So if I pick voyage for the word of the day.
Cruise ship.
Okay.
Pirate ship.
Journey. That's a good one.
Yeah, synonyms are good. You find
pirate ship. Well, and yeah, I can see some R mateys coming out of that one.
How
about a ghost ship?
Ela, the word alike means the same.
Under the sea, yes.
Under the
alike.
sea.
Well, we'll map that one after this one, okay? Submarine. Oh, Laura, yes, absolutely. I love those. I love that. Laura's talking about the French paddlers, the canoes, the voyagers. I actually watched a series not too long ago about that. So
Island and postcards. A starship. Ooh, I like that one.
Starship Voyage. Okay.
Yeah, I like the Starship Voyager.
Postcards. Postcards do go on a voyage, don't they?
They come back from the voyage.
Moon. Okay, so I think we've got a lot of ideas going on for voyage here. New marriage, yes. Okay, so then what you would do is you would focus in on something here from this. And, you know, we could go with any of these. Like if you're under the sea, do you want to do something that is more of a seascape, or do you want to do something that's more fantasy? If you're on a pirate ship, do you want the ship itself? Do you want the pirates? Do you, you know, think about how you're going to. An old Victorian trunk. Yes, I like that idea. And that you could actually do with Journey. You could do that as an old. You know, this plays off of this right here. So, you know, it's just an extension of where that picture in your mind is taking you. Coral, yeah, under the sea coral. Covered in travel stickers. I did see something about, oh, the trunk, yeah, travel stickers. Okay. A treasure chest. It could be a sunken treasure chest.
Apparently that voyage came to a sad end at the bottom of the ocean.
Steampunk starship. Oh yeah, babe. That would be fun.
They get it. They get this idea. That's good. This is, you know,
Dark and mysterious.
somewhat similar to our one-word prompts for Pick a Stick Challenge, only you just have one word for the whole page instead of 6. But same type of an idea.
Okay, so let's flip over. Let's see if I can find it. What day was alike? I need my other list so I can find it in here. It was number 9. Okay, let's flip over to number 9 because they were asking for help on this word.
I think
Okay, so the first thing that I think of when I see alike is twin, right?
Compare and contrast.
Compare and contrast.
You know, like you could have a bowl of fruit, but they're all fruit, so they're all alike, but yet they're all different. That's what I mean by that.
Did you see Cindy Bagley? She says, "Not true, Shell, just a clumsy deckhand." Too funny.
I see. It just fell off the boat. It didn't sink. Okay. I'm sure his captain was not happy about that. What happened to my treasure chest? Oh,
the word is alike. Let me get here. Get down here a little bit closer. Similar.
Yep.
You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be the same thing. It could be like salt and pepper. You know, they're both condiments. Those are alike, but they're also dissimilar.
Ketchup and mustard.
Equal. And, you know, when you think about equal, you can also think about like weights and measures. friends. Yes.
Sybil, the prompts are in the Art Joy of Sharing Facebook group right now. This printed piece that looks like this, you can print it off out of the file section. It's got all the prompts. So if you haven't joined that group yet, or if you just want to take a screenshot, I'll hold it still. Try to hold it still. But it's easy.
Uniform, interchangeable. Right. Inclusive.
Peas in a pod. That's cute.
Yeah.
I just think of those little babies, the pictures of the babies in the pea pods. Wouldn't that? Oh, they're so adorable.
So does that help you guys? Yep, we got twins. Thanks, Letty. So you can see how this helps you get some kind of direction going on your page. And the other way is to just, you know, pick something from your stash that inspires you. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be mapped out like this, but it could be just taking something like the word bite, and maybe you've got something that bites, or a picture of somebody biting a piece of toast, and that's inspiring you for the day, you know. So that's what I'm saying. As you go through your stash and figure out what you have and what you want to use on a page, I find this helpful because I can go directly to this, and I can take it to the next level. Okay, good, Cindy. I'm glad. Pattern, I'm not sure what that means. Dog. Oh, for the bite?
Oh, a bite pattern like a bite wing.
So I'm going to stick these pages in here that I was finding. I have, you know, this one that I pulled out, and the prompt was clock. So I'm just going to stick this right in between my pages so that I've got that here. Yes, teeth, absolutely. I also had a solar
Vampire
page, and I kind of like this piece to use on my solar page. So this is just a piece of magazine that I'd altered using spray and I think some not Citrusolve. It's my version of Citrusolve, and then I punched it all out. But it kind of looks like, you know, the moon, the cheese that we see on the moon. So I think that would be kind of a fun thing to have on that page.
clips.
And I also have some papers like this. And I'm thinking this might be a nice background on something like this parallel page. Because when I think about parallel, I like to think about those lines that are on the page, and I'm mostly looking more towards the background on this particular page.
Barcode.
I like his pattern. Okay.
She was.
So let me go back
She was
to that
saying
page.
like, yeah.
Yes, patterns are alike. And I think they were talking about for bite, they were talking about dog and teeth.
And vampire, you forgot to write vampire.
Okay, vampire.
Vampires bite.
Yeah.
I'm going to suck your blood. Or maybe it's a sparkly vampire that's all covered with glitter and all he wants to do is just look at you while you sleep.
Maybe. Maybe. Okay, so going back to my sheet of prompts. And now I'm going to take a look in some of these things to see. I have digital downloads. These are pages that I may end up using on my pages. So I have these digital downloads, and I think what I'm going to do with these is I'm just going to tuck them in the back of my journal so that they're handy for use. Then I want to look at, okay, number 8 on my list says building. And look at the front of this National Geographic. I don't have to go beyond the cover for that one. So I'm going to flip to number 8. And I'm going to pull that page out. And I'm not going to be too fussy about cutting it out right now because I don't know what I will use and what I won't use. But I'm going to just rip back some of this. This I can cover up. And I have a building image that's going in there that, could easily become part of a page. Here's another building. I also like this part of the page for that voyage, because you could take a train voyage, So I can flip back over here, stick that in there. So you can see how this is going as I look through things. So these are just magazines. Then I also have tubs of pages that I've set aside that I don't keep the whole magazine. I start going through and pulling pages that I like the images of, and I don't necessarily cut all this stuff down right away. But I have the pages, and I look at things like this. I am chasing moments. Great. Here's alike. See all the rings? They're all alike. That's could very easily be my alike page. Oh, things that bite. Look at the alligator. Right? So as I start thinking about those words and the things that I have in here, I start looking at these and applying it to how I would use that on a page. So there's just lots and lots of fodder here to use. This dancer with her sheer dress fascinates me with the red shoes. Caricatures. Words like the selfie. And you can use things like this was from my weekend away at Stamp Joy, and I could use that with my selfie picture. You can see the kind of stuff that I go ahead and I pull these pages out of magazines. And, you know, there again, if you don't have the magazines, go find a secondhand store that has some of these things. And, you know, you can pick them up really cheaply and then just go through and pull out the pages that you want. I'm looking at the seafood here and I'm thinking, what was that word? That word was below. Well, these things are all below the surface, right? You could have some water and you could have, yeah. So, I mean, let your imagination run. Look at this one with the island and the water. I would certainly like to voyage there, right?
Laura is asking if you're going to work on your book over the mind maps. Like she's wondering if you're going to use that as your journal.
No, I'm not. Actually, I'm keeping that for my inspiration book. Peggy says she likes using paper towels that has some cool images on them. Yeah. Napkins are good. Pattern. Look at the pattern in this.
Yeah, I just pulled out my napkins just now. I'm thinking about going through them.
Yeah.
I think I have a few napkins. It's just kind of crazy. I have tons and tons.
Oh, here we go. We have feathers.
We found some feathers. I need to organize these in some way, but I don't know how, so I just put them in the basket. Well, I don't know how to organize them. I mean, it's just crazy. And then I have pieces left, and then because I didn't use it all. And then, here's a good one for Voyage. It's got a map on it. We didn't talk about that. Map would be a good idea. This is like
yes, it would.
A tropical island.
Actually, a map would be a great background on a voyage page.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got lots of birds. That could be feathers. I've got all kinds of different ones here. It's just, you know, when you buy a package of napkins, there's more than one in there. So it's always a good idea to share them with someone else. And a lot of these have been sent to me by other people. I did not buy all these. And I was also at one point in a napkin swap, which was a good idea to share, because you buy a package because the napkin's so cute and you want it, but then it's got 11 friends right there in the package with it.
Yep.
I love this one with hot peppers on it. I've never found really anything I could use it yet, but it's cool. This one's pretty with the Dia de los Muertos on it. Sugar skull. I have some that are just real background patterns like this. Just a whole background. Or like these two on the alike prompt. They're alike because they both are orange and white patterns, but they are also different. So that would be like compare and contrast type of situation. Oh, I've always loved this rooster. I don't know what I would use. And these butterflies, look at the butterflies, are gorgeous. These are so pretty. Every once in a while, you have to get them out and look at them and see what you have, because otherwise they just get buried in the bottom of the bucket and you don't know what they are. This fall print is really pretty. Pumpkins and gourds. So pretty. So I could probably make the entire month with just napkin backgrounds. That might be a fun challenge. I don't know. It looks fun though. It looks fun. Look at this herb one. That's really cool.
Cool.
Giant flower. Huh.
Oh man. I just found my elephant paper.
Did you? What did you find?
Look at that awesome napkin.
Oh, well, there you go. That's beautiful.
See, until you start digging through your stuff, you don't even know what you have.
Yep, that's what I was just saying. Is like, I'd forgotten these were even in here, some of these. Oh, that's so cute. The puppies. Oh.
I have so many. There must be a real theme with napkins and under the sea stuff. So I've got so many napkins that are seashore, under the sea, right?
I don't have any, hardly.
None of that?
Here's my bite napkin.
There's a dolphin.
Ooh, I love dolphins.
There's another feather.
I thought this one for bite. Do they look like they're gonna bite? You're so cute. That's just crazy. Huh.
So, you know, you can just spend an enjoyable period of time sifting through things, getting ready.
Yeah, you could spend hours doing it just for fun. And look at this one for parallel. It's shiny. Shiny. Fun. That's an actual napkin. Yeah. Awesome.
Yes, there certainly is a lot to pick from when it comes to napkins.
Yep.
And honestly, if you like anything seasonal, this is a good time to start looking at napkins.
Oh yeah, they're even like in the grocery, they had some nice fall and Thanksgiving napkins that were inexpensive because they were, I guess, because it's the season. I don't know. And then right after, then like on December 1st, you can find all those pretty fall ones. for really cheap.
Okay, so I need to figure out which of these goes where.
Which of those goes where? You know what would be
Yeah.
good for that? One of those little expanding folder things. I have one
Yep.
somewhere. You know, and then you'd have a pocket to put each thing in, and it wouldn't fall out if you were going to travel. Somewhere I have
Yeah,
one.
I got some somewhere, just
Yeah.
not right here.
Yeah, I don't know where it is right now. But I know that
Well,
I
I
do.
mean, you know, I may end up doing that by the time I put embellishments and things in there because, you know, these are just the beginning layers. And I haven't looked at my words and all those smaller pieces that are going to go on here. So, you know, you want to think about what else you're going to incorporate into your page and what direction you're going to take it. You know, go out and find some quotes that might be appropriate for your page, or
Yeah, that's what I was
you
going to do
know,
this morning, and then I got distracted. I was going to go through and do a Google search for each word, and then just put them all on one sheet and print them out for like a saying or a quote or something that could go with each prompt. That's something you could do in advance really easily.
yeah, you can.
Because then you don't have to do it the day that you're doing it. You can do it in advance, and then you've already got. If you're inspired by words, you've already got a jumping off spot.
Yeah, honestly, you know, they're talking about the napkins. The most beautiful napkins I have found have been at Tuesday Morning. You pay a little bit more for them than you do at the dollar store, but you get some beautiful imagery.
And they have a huge
And a lot of
amount
times you can find them in the clearance section because napkins don't sell as fast as some other things. So, you know, I've gotten them like 40% off, 60% off in the clearance section. And then you get a whole thing of napkins and then you swap with your buddies.
Yep.
Or just send some Happy Mail out, which would be fun. Okay, Fia, good to see you. Take care. So let's see, number 10, I think, was elephant. So that's going to go in my number 10 page. And what I'm doing is I'm going ahead and separating the backer off of these napkins because that's just going to save me time later. So I just get a little piece of tape, stick it on the corner to lift it. And if there's multiple layers, sometimes it's a little bit harder. Sometimes they're 2-ply and sometimes they're 3-ply, and it's kind of hard to tell sometimes. And this one is 3-ply. So I've got 2 layers I'm peeling off.
Another thing that you can do if you like doing this is do something like start your embellishment. Like I just found this little piece and I cut out the girl. I liked the girl obviously at some point. And then you can do what I call a one staple collage. I found these 2 pieces there. They were like backing paper to something that got stained with alcohol ink, and I thought they were pretty, so I threw them in the the basket of stuff, and you can just add one staple, and then that becomes something that you can put on your page later. And you know, you have a background and you can put it over the top. So you can do things like that and put them in a basket for later if you want to use them. I don't know what prompt I would go with, but this is like paper that was under paper at some point, and you know, it makes pretty backgrounds. Just sitting in my basket here of stuff that came from the top of my desk. You just never know what you're going to find on Shell's desk at any time. Pretty things.
It's so nice to shift through some of this stuff because you almost forget about all of these supplies that you have.
There's no possible
We're
way
always
you can-
looking,
I mean,
going out shopping and picking up more stuff, and it's like we need to use what we have. Or I do anyway. I don't know about anybody else. I need to use it.
I definitely do. I have so much stuff. It makes absolutely no sense how much stuff I have. And I don't throw anything away because I think it's wasteful. So I have stuff that hasn't been thrown away because I thought I didn't want to waste it. But then I didn't use it either.
So I'm going back to $29 is quarter. And I'm thinking I might like to do something fabric-like.
Oh, like
You know, because when I think a quarter, I think about like fat quarters for fabric. So I've got some fabric pieces here that I like. Fat quarter. I also think about, you know, the Pac-Man thing with the quarter mouth taken out of it. I also think about just the coin, which is a quarter. I think about what we used to be able to get with a quarter. Not as much as we get these days. Or not just the opposite. We don't get as much these days as we used to, that's for sure. Oh, I hope so, Barb. Barb is saying that prompts are a little daunting, but this approach makes it more accessible. I hope so, because, you know, you can just take any little notebook with you and take these words. And as you think about it throughout the day, you can just write down your notes in there. And it helps you start to get that imagery going. I know because you are a quilter, this quarter prompt would probably, you know, sing home with you. And these fabrics, I mean, these fabrics to me are amazing. Just the patterns alone in these fabrics inspire me. Yeah, Susan. When we do the Pick a Stick challenge, it's kind of like that. Our sister Facebook group is Pick a Stick Challenge. If you don't know about that, we do a monthly challenge for not only a journal page, but an ATC each month. And if you haven't seen those videos, go check Shell's channel and my channel for Pick a Stick Challenge for each month. And you'll find out what that's all about. But prompts make you think outside of what you might normally just go to. And that's why I like using them, because it pushes you to try something that maybe you wouldn't normally try.
Yeah, I mean, they're butterflies and whimsical girl faces are beautiful, but there's so much more out there. And if that's all you can think of, then using a prompt to give you a kickstart to do something else is always fun. I think. Some people do not think so, but I think so.
You're right. Some people are not too thrilled with it. And that's what we say, you know, when we put prompts out there, they are just that. They are meant for you to interpret whatever way you want to. So, you know, we were just talking about Voyage and Voyager and the paddle canoe, and here's an image right here that's got the guys canoeing. How appropriate, you know. It is just, you know, here we were talking about below. Well, it could be below the surface. It could be, you know, something like one of these scenic underwater things, you know, and I just go through and I pull. Feel, you know, feel could be going back to something like a feather. A feather has that soft feeling, and it could be, you know, I feel angry, I feel happy, I feel, you know, something soft.
So here's another little embellishment, one staple embellishment, and I could just slap that onto a page at some point. You can do this with your scraps while you're just sitting around thinking about stuff. And it's a great way to get your page started. Then, you know, you've got a background, and then bam, you put that on there, you put a quote, and you're done. That would take like 3 minutes. Right? So that'd be a good
Right.
3-minute day.
Well, you know, I don't think I'll be making 3-minute pages, because I don't know if I've ever made a 3-minute page, but
I know that I haven't. I'm absolutely positive that my pages take an hour and a half, no matter what. But
yeah.
it's a nice concept anyway. And the reason that they take an hour and a half isn't because I'm obsessed with art journaling and I just have to make everything perfect. It's because I actually enjoy the process. So
Yeah.
why would I spend 15 minutes doing it if I want to enjoy it? That's 15 minutes, nothing. I think it's awesome to play for an hour and a half each day. But of course, for YouTube creators, that turns into about 4 hours probably by the time you download, edit, take pictures, put the pictures in, do your voiceover, do your music, and then find all the products that you used and put links, and then you share it all on social media. Probably about a 4-hour day to do one 20-minute video, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It certainly can.
Barbara says it takes 15 minutes for paint to dry. He's right. 15 minutes makes no sense. But I get where they were going with that. It's like, you know, we don't want to make it so hard that people won't do it. Another idea, if you want to art journal each day and you only want to do a small amount of time, is you could make a big page and do multiple prompts on the same page.
Right. And I've seen some wonderful pages done that way where, they might even do it in their calendar,
Uh-huh.
and they're just doing a small box on their daily calendar, and they're just sketching. It doesn't necessarily have to be a full page, because you can take your art that you have done something with, and okay, you make a drawing or a sketch, and you decide, oh, I really like that, I want to expand upon it. Well, now you've got it in your journal on a daily page or something, and you can take that and move it over to a canvas or to something else that you want to work on, and make it a little bit more,
And
just
expanding on
develop
that
it.
idea. Um, a good idea, if you have some artwork that you've done in the past and you think it's absolutely gorgeous, you can always use it on your page. Or even, people are constantly asking me, what do I do with those tags? What do you do with those ATCs? What do you do with all that stuff? Well, my answer is usually that I send it to people because I do, but also maybe I have some little thing that's already been created that I made in the past that would match one of my prompts, and I could put that on it. So that's a way to shorten your time, and also to reuse some artwork that you've already done. Or if it's a journal page that you've done in the past, or it's a drawing, or it's something, you can scan it and print it out on your computer and reuse it. Always you can reuse it when you take a photo or scan of it. So that's something you can do, like even things as simple as, painting paper that you think is so beautiful that you don't want to use it. We all have that, right? Oh, I don't want to use it up. It's so pretty. Well, just scan it and print another copy of it, and then you can use it, right?
And I used it all up, and now what I'm gonna do, because I don't have it anymore. Yeah.
It's sad. If there is something like that, you really should scan it and save it, or photograph it and save it, just in case. Just in case. I wonder what I kind of wished I had done in this journal from last year, and the ones that I've done in the past, is put the prompts on the page.
Uh-huh.
Oh, but wait, I have them in the back. I remember now. Yeah. Here's the list from last year. I remember I put it in the back. So this one was bird. The next one was horizon. Remember that was doing palette knives. The next one was abstract. This one was seek great joy. Follow your heart. Metallic. So it's fun to know what they were. Harmony. Gift. The greatest gift in life is friendship, and I have received it. And see, that one, the flowers and butterflies, didn't have anything to do with the gift. It was the quote. This one was junk. Had all the old stuff that was junk to one person and treasure to another one. This one was zoo. Those are stamped images. So you see how this works. I hope that we're helping you guys figure out how it works, how the one-word prompts work, how you can prepare yourself for the challenge, how you can join us. And of course, where you can post the stuff is anywhere on social media using hashtag ArtJournalHabit2018. And also you can post it in our Art Joy of Sharing Facebook group. So have you got your whole book figured out and filled up over there?
Oh, I'm still tucking stuff in here. I just am always looking for something else to tuck in.
That makes sense. Laura says that she watched almost all of those pages last year.
Yeah. Well,
Peggy says she's
it's
got to go.
fun. I mean,
About the other
I
thing.
enjoy watching what you guys make too, or, you know, whether you're posting it on Instagram or in our group, however you're doing it, be sure and use the hashtag, because I think what you do is just as important to me as what I do. It makes it enjoyable to share with friends.
What does that faucet image go to? I like her hair.
Her hair?
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking she might go on the her page.
Her. Okay, her. Yeah.
And I'm thinking this might go on the solar page for a background. You know, I've got these landscapes here, which are from an old calendar, which we had country was number 24. So I've got, you know, an old calendar with country scenes. So something here might work for that. I've got an old calendar with birds and flowers. So tropical, look at this flower. This is a calendar from 2014.
Do you have a dependable underwear ad? Because day 18 is Depend.
Well, yeah, or you could depend on me, or I depend on my friend, or
I don't think you're probably going to make an art journal page about Depends, okay? It's making a joke. You're supposed to laugh.
Or we could.
We could, yeah.
Honestly, you know, if you guys follow Intervals of Sanity, you know that we are doing a fundraiser for ovarian cancer, and we are painting a big pair of underpanties. So Depends could be kind of fun. If you want to go that direction, I'm with you.
I was looking at I think it was this magazine just a second ago. I don't know. This is the one. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, here we go. I was trying to figure out how I could make, because it's breast cancer month, and I just loved this whole page of boobies, but I couldn't figure out how I could use it. Your breast and owner manual. I thought it was such a cool drawing. It just, yeah, something about breast cancer, but yeah, it didn't fit.
Well, I did a couple of breast cancer pages a few years back, because they were doing, but I think I focused on cups.
Oh,
but I like the bras.
There is a prompt. Her on day 21. I need to tear that page out. I didn't tear it out. That would be a great background for her. So smart. I obviously haven't done a very good job of remembering what the prompts were. I'll probably get the Mad Thumbs Downer to come and thumbs down my page if I make it with all these boobies. But the Mad Thumbs Downer has been visiting my channel lately. Thumbs downing all my videos. I think they just go through and thumbs down on all the recent videos.
Yeah, there's always some jerk out there, right?
Yeah, I don't know what they're opposed to. I don't really care. They just come through and I think it's been like the ones that I did, Dia de los Muertos and stuff, or like Halloween themed ones. And someone just came
Yeah,
through and
I did see you
thumbs
had
down
some
all of
thumbs
them.
down on those, and I thought, what the heck? If you don't like that, don't watch it.
Yeah, that would be more productive, but
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. You know, some of these things are taking me in another direction. Like I was looking at. So, okay, here's one that I did for breast cancer. Let's wait. I gotta go here. Here we go. And let me back that out a little bit. So this was about saving the tatas, believe in miracles, keep the lumps out of the cups. There is hope for a cure. And so I just used regular cups, but I mean, you certainly could do it using bras.
bras or boobies. I tore them both out.
Yep.
Because there was two different articles back to back there. One of them had just the breasts drawn, and then the other one had all these like how to fit the bra to your shape.
Uh-huh.
And that's a nice one too. It's a good drawing. And then I just had to cut this out that was right next to it because it's hilarious. Don't know what I need it for, but it's funny.
Well, you know, even if it's just to put it in your stash.
Yeah, I'm just going to throw it in
right?
this one with all the magazine stuff for later sometime.
I just the thing I liked about this image was just the starkness of this gal. I don't know. Really struck me as funny with this whole sink thing.
Yeah, it's an article. It's a advertisement for the faucet.
Yeah.
That's what's funny.
Yeah, but it caught my eye. You know.
Yeah.
He did a good job of catching my eye.
Maybe you want to run out and buy that faucet now, do you?
Oh, those guys are tropical. My little lovebirds.
Oh, I think it's it's the 9:58. We're about done, right?
Yeah, we got a couple of minutes. Anybody have any questions for us about, you know, how this whole thing works, or can we help you in any way?
They seem to be helping each other.
Yeah, I sure hope you guys participate. And even if you can't do it every day, do it when you can.
Yeah. Even if it takes you the whole next year, you can do one at a time on different times when you have time. And they're saying that quotes aren't necessary on an art journal page if you don't want them, which is true. You can let the art speak for itself.
Yep.
And then Lori was saying that she's got several pages of quotes that she's been collecting for years. The word list is in the Art Joy of Sharing Facebook group, Lori. So you can join that group if you want to, or I can just lay it on my desk here and you can take a screenshot
in the
of it.
description box below the video.
Yeah, link in the description box below the video. And it'll be in the file section there in the group, and you can print it off. It's a PDF.
Yep.
And it starts on November.
So anyway,
1st, so you've still got some time.
We're just giving you the heads up, and we hope you can join us. And we appreciate you being here with us today while we sort through our stuff and figure out what direction we're going to go.
Yep. And what are we doing next week? I don't know. We don't have a plan, so I can't tell you.
It'll be a party. We'll have a party.
Having a party next week, but
Yep.
The
So
hashtag
we'll
is
see you guys then.
Journal Habit 2018. Laura. Hashtag Art Journal Habit 2018. That's what you use to post. Vicki says she's ready to start. Ela says, thanks, ladies. Till next time. And Cindy says, yay for the party. All right, that's it for us today, guys. And thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. See you again soon.